I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about warm versus cool. And I was digging through my storage unit and I found a couple paintings that I thought would help illuminate that discussion. And, warm colors basically come forward, cool colors basically recede. And that's just a big generality. But what's the difference between the two and how can you use the two to your advantage? And where do you see the two? If you're a landscape painter or still life painter, what's going on with identifying which is like the warm side, which is the cool side, and just identifying the light as a specific temperature is a whole thing altogether. So I found these two paintings that this first one here I did in a workshop that I took with Jove Wang, who's a great Chinese artist in Pasadena. And this is old, this is maybe, I don't know, 10 years, maybe more. But it was a week-long workshop. Every single painting I did in the class was garbage, except for this one. This was the only one that was decent. And I think part of it was because my drawing skills were okay, but in that there's not a lot of drawing in here. It's very big simplified shapes, so it allowed me to really focus in on the color instead of worrying about getting the drawing right. And so we had warm light coming from this way, and then cool fluorescent light illuminating more the shadow side. The warm light was really powerful. But so you can see a lot of oranges and yellow, zoom in, but reds and oranges in the light side, and they slowly get darker as they go towards the shadow side and the cooler side of the face. So and in the cooler side, a lot of blues and purples and mauve type colors. But this was the first one that I actually felt like looked like something, and it wasn't relegated on getting a specific flesh tone mixture. It was getting the temperatures correct, the temperature and the harmony correct. And that's what I was missing the whole time. When I was first learning how to paint, this stage, I didn't know what a flesh tone was. And basically, a flesh tone can be anything. The light is what creates the color and the harmony and the temperature, not the intrinsic flesh color of the person, and like this exercise can be done with an apple or any simple object. And I recommend you doing it with a simple object first, before you complicate it with something like a figure or just anything that's more complicated than an apple. Start simple and then work towards more complex. Get the underlying understanding of the temperature first and then complicate it with something that involves a little bit more complicated drawing. But this is one, and this is another one that I found that I did. I used to teach this in class, and this was basically we would set up this exact same scene and light it with warm light and light one with cool light. And the other thing that this does, besides kind of opening up your eyes to what colors happen here versus here, is you're expanding your color vocabulary. You're using colors you might not have used before. But a lot of people think, well, if I see something yellow, it's yellow. It's like, well, no, this is much cooler yellow than this yellow, right? There's a big time difference between this. These are almost McDonald's type colors right here, right? This is not. This is much different, and you can see the different things that it does, the different effects it has, psychological effects, this color versus this color. And you can, I think these were an hour each. It was really quick, because, I didn't want my students to think. I didn't want to think too much. I just wanted to react and just go, and just, there's an immediacy when you just go and don't overthink things. But you can see, on the warm one, much more reds and browns and oranges, and the lack of, even just in her hair You know, hair is like, looks black with, you know, kind of purple and mauve highlights. This one is more brown with, you know, orange and red highlights. So, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, you should have, there should be an idea behind it. And so how do you maximize that idea, right? Do you use warm light? Do you use cool light? You know, what is the focus of your painting? You know, it's not just a look what I can do thing. It's, you know, you're telling a story, you're saying something about whatever the setup is. So when you're, when you have more tools at your expense, you're able to speak more clearly. And that's what painting's all about. And so, you know, we do all these exercises to learn how to speak with colors and shapes. So the better you are, the more clearly you can speak. And it takes a while, you know, it takes a while. And sometimes it just kind of organically comes out. But again, I would start simple with whatever you're doing. You know, like even this tape measure could be a great object to light cool and light warm. Like right now, this light's kind of looks more cool than warm. You know, light it with cool light and light it with warm light, and see what the differences are. You know, you'll discover colors that you might not have seen or even thought of before, and what kind of psychological emotions emanate from that. Anyway, okay, so I hope that helped with your painting. Okay, bye.